Right. So Emily, we're down here in the Oracle Centre on the Encounter year, but you're going to give us a lot of testimony actually about you, because we prayed for you last week, and there's been a result from that. So do you want to just say what the problem was, what we were praying for, and then we'll go into what happened.
So after my mastectomy, they removed lymph nodes from under my arm, and you have to sign it's part of the operation is a risk of nerve damage and losing feeling. So after the operation, feeling never came back in the top of my arm, back of my arm and under my arm.
So completely numb? Completely
numb. The kids used to pinch because they thought it was fun to see how much they could pinch without me jumping.
And actually you described how hard
the
kids
used to shake with pinching because they just thought it was fun that I couldn't feel anything.
So
and I'd ended up with bruises a few times.
But you couldn't feel a thing?
No, couldn't feel a thing. So I've been getting a lot of pain in my wrist because my arm swells. You can see it's a little bit swollen. And so because of the water fluid in the arm, I get a lot of pain in the wrist, and because it's my right hand, I'm obviously using it a lot. So the pain was really strong last week. So I prayed for asked them to pray for healing on my wrist, and I started to get pins and needles up the top of my arm and at the back of my arm.
So we started praying, and one of the results of that prayer was you suddenly experienced pins and needles.
Yeah, which I hadn't felt anything for nearly 2 years of the operation. So, and as Rob and Hannah were praying, more pins and needles started to come.
Yeah, all around that area.
Just around the top and the back where I was numb. And then I went home, still with the pins and needles, didn't know that I had feeling back. And then I started to get feeling, and Andrew noticed that my wrist wasn't as swollen and my arm wasn't as swollen. And now I've got full feeling back, and the kids can't pinch me anymore, and I can feel itchy. If I'm itchy, I can actually scratch it now. So I think God is working. The wrist isn't my problem, it's this area that is my problem. So God is clearing this way to make room to let the fluid move freely through my arm.
So actually, I mean, that is amazing, because
it was complete nerve dead.
No feeling at all. And so now, even if someone touches you lightly, you can feel it.
And scratch. It used to be horrible because you'd have an itch and you could never satisfy that itch. So now, I can feel scratching.
So we're praying for full healing, so that there won't be any more fluid in your arm. So if full healing comes to that area of your lymph node,
then it's going to flow.
So in that regard, is the swelling still less?
Definitely. I'd get kind of, my arm would permanently be rippled like that, where it was so swollen. And now I haven't got the ripples when I straighten out my arm, and I don't dent. I used to have a real dent in my arm, and I don't get that anymore.
Right, well, we're going to pray for that completeness, aren't we? But that's amazing about your upper arm and shoulder. Well, thank you, Emily.